Yo, 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 real recognize real. We back tonight. We got a special guest with us tonight. My dog, Terence Smith, aka T Bird. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Blessed to be here.
Glad to have you, brother. Always, always. OG, how you doing over there, man? I like your look like you coming from
Yeah, I came from a little event, you know what I mean? Like a little dinner and empowerment about, black people and what we can do in rough times and stuff like that we about to have with this president.
right.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. You be going to them seminars. I gotta get to you, bro. You be on them seminars. Well, tonight we got, like I said, we got the homie Terence Smith with us tonight, man. If y'all haven't heard, my partner got a real deep story that everybody needs to hear. He just been pardoned by the governor, Roy Cooper. He got his time pardoned, man, and that's definitely a blessing. He got a pardon right before the holidays. So we really gonna get into the story and the whole pardon and the emotions that he went through. And now that he's home and free, you know, we had the pleasure to get the first exclusive interview with him. So first and foremost, I want to thank Tamika Singletary. I don't know her married name, but rest in peace, Bobby Singletary. His sister Mika. What's up? She called me with the idea of we need to be the first ones to interview him. He has a story that needs to be heard that can really touch the youth out here. And we all know, the youth are going crazy out here, man. The crime rate is ridiculous. It's the first of the year, and I think we already got a couple murders, man. So I was really excited to bring him in to go ahead and, like I said, to tell his story, and hopefully he can touch a couple young folks out here that's going down the wrong road, man, and get on the right track and make the right decision. So I definitely appreciate that from you. Yeah, it's gonna be a couple times I'm gonna call him T Bird because that's his nickname. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a couple times where you're gonna hear me because I don't really do whole names like that. So it's gonna be a couple times I'm gonna call my homie by his nickname, but it's real recognized real. So that's how we do. Definitely shout out to his peoples, Kenya Smith. What up, Kenya? You know what I'm saying? She been activating for him for a long time, like since day one. So we definitely got to give a shout out to her and everybody else that's involved. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start off with what's where you from? Hemingway?
Nah. Actually, I was born in East Winston, born and raised East Winston, back in Lakeside Apartments on 311 when Lakeside was the Lakeside that we knew it to be.
Already.
When the lake was really jumping real hard.
Rest in peace, Bridget.
Yeah. I was raised over there, single mother with a brother right at roughly 2 years older than me. I was blessed to have my grandmother in the house with us. So between my grandmother and my mother, they raised us as single black women, strong black women.
Right.
And they kind of set the foundation inside us of just faith, morals, principles, and things of that nature. Coming up, we spent a lot of time, just like regular kids in the hood, man, out playing in the yard, having fun, off to the boys' club for summer camp and whatnot.
Oh, you went to the boys' club?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
No doubt.
Shout out to the boys club.
Yeah, we went to the Y, man. Shout out to the boys' club, though. That's real. So when you start, when you was going to the boys' club, that's when you started migrating to the South?
Nah, actually, I went to the club in sixth grade, middle of sixth grade. A lot of things happened in my life. First, my grandfather, that was like the first male figure in my life, he passed away early. He passed away from cancer with being undetected too late, and he didn't let my family know. So he kind of held that in on his own and dealt with it. And he unfortunately succumbed to cancer at a young age. So then, roughly a couple months later, y'all that's really from the city, y'all know about a police officer getting killed by a motor grader in Lakeside.
Cruz.
Conrad Cruz.
Yeah, Conrad. Shout out to Conrad.
He's still locked down. And he should be out too. He should be free. He done over 30 years.
So this your co-defendant?
No. This I'm in the sixth grade. back in like early 90s, 91, 92.
Conrad was like 21.
Yeah.
He hopped in the
On the
tractor,
motor grader,
yeah, and
drug
ran over
ride.
the police officer and shit.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard about that.
He's still
Yeah.
locked up, man. He be trying to get out, but the officer family coming to his parole. Yeah, man, they ain't
She
gonna.
trying to keep
Yeah,
from getting
man.
out.
Yeah. So I shout out to Conrad. Shout out to the Cruz family because they really be activating for him. You know what I'm saying, when it's time for his parole to come up.
But that murder happened right in front of our house. So between my grandfather passing, then my mother and grandmother seeing my brother playing in the tracks that was right in our yard that led to an officer's death, that was kind of impactful. And then not even weeks after that, a lady beside us, it was the crack era, so a lady beside us was getting high, set the apartment on fire. Our apartment luckily didn't catch on fire, but it had a lot of smoke damage.
Damn.
So we had to move from East Drive to Harrison Circle, which was around the corner a couple minutes over.
Still in Lakeside?
Yeah, still in Lakeside. So my mother and grandmother knew at that time, like, hold up, we got to make a better way to raise these boys in, or if not, they're going to be caught off in everything going on. The hustling real heavy, everybody making money with the crack era in full effect.
Right.
So they sacrificed, they made a way. My grandmother had decent jobs for back then at a nursing home with my grandmother. My mother worked in J.C. Penney forever. A lot of people watching this probably seen my mother at some point getting something for themselves or for their kids as they got older. But they made a way. They put us in the house and moved us to the south side. So we transitioned from Lakeside after them 3 kind of tragedies in my life at that young age.
That could be traumatizing.
Yeah.
Right.
We moved, but at the time, me and my brother didn't understand the opportunity that they was blessing us with.
Right.
We looking at it like, yo, we've been in the hood our whole life. We don't want to go over here. When we get over there, it's a whole white community.
Right.
So nobody look like us. Yeah. Nobody outside is not nothing that we used to. And I give credit that the crime rates down, the school's better. But to us, young preteens,
boring.
Like we want to get out and do something. We
Go back
ain't
to
in the game
Right.
on the video all day. We ain't in the house on the video all day. We want to get out and get active. So it was an adjustment period. And going from Ashley Middle School to Fowler Middle School is totally opposite. You know what I mean? You going to school with everybody you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
All the hoods in East Winston going to Ashley. So now we're going to Fowler with nobody really hood.
Right.
So we're not understanding that. So we kind of just not at ease and kind of like resentful that we moved because we ain't seeing the opportunity. We ain't seeing the better way, how they made it better for us to be successful and succeed in life.
Right.
So when I got to the South, I'm going to Follow now. So first place I ventured off to was Hemingway. So a lot of people might know me from Hemingway.
Yeah.
A lot of people may know me from hanging in the gardens one time. A lot of people know me from hanging on Cornell at one time. But I'm truly from the Condo area. When I moved over there, it was one other black family on the street. So the time school get out, I'm shooting off. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to Hemingway. I'm going to where it's more, even though it's housing, the mentality, the struggle, is comparative to who I grew up at.
Still kind of hood. Yeah.
So I'm hanging out over there. So not everything that I shunned when I was in Lakeside, smoking, getting high, joyriding and stolen cars, just everything that I shunned that I never paid attention to, now I'm in an area where that's not at.
Right.
So now it's easier to, I won't say pressure because I made my own decisions, but now that I'm in this different area where everything is not there from what I seen growing up, now I want to venture out and experience. I want to smoke cigarettes. I want to smoke weed. I want to drink.
Where was your father at?
My father never been around. I just recently learned when I was doing the petition to get out at 40 years old. My father passed in 2017, 2018. I got one recollection of my dad. He came to pick me and my brother up about late 80s, maybe 86, 87. He took me and my brother to the fair, and it was time to leave. He ain't had no money to get us back home.
Damn.
So I ain't thinking that, we caught a cab. So we walk out the fairground, we just stepping. So before I know it, you got 2 little kids, probably hungry, sleepy, cold. Before I know it, we truck all the way from up there, fairgrounds on 30th Street, all the way to Lakeside Apartment. So when we got there, I remember it vividly, even though I was young. My mom is humble and quiet, but she got the heart of a lion.
Right.
And that's probably the only time I really seen my mother irate, just going off.
Yeah.
Not because he had us home late, but My mom had a car with 2 cars at the house. You
Mm.
could have picked up the payphone,
Right.
dropped the quarter in it,
Right.
and said, "Yo, Deborah, come pick us up, come get us." He didn't do that. He chose to walk us home. So that's the only recollection I had of my dad. But I always had my grandfather before he passed. Then I always had an uncle that married my mother's sister. My
Was your
uncle
uncle
always been there for me from
was
day
he
one. Like that was his. I always thank his kids for letting me borrow their father because he
he was a
always been there with
he
me.
was a
He's
positive
still
role
there with
model?
me.
I mean, a
Yeah,
role model.
Shout
yeah,
out to Unc.
yeah. He worked at Reynolds. He pastored the church in Salisbury. He brought us up in the church. So
That was a good role
yeah,
model
yeah.
for you right
So
there.
when we moved, like he started to do more. He seen us struggling. He started to do more, and when we stayed in the hood, he was right up Carver Road. It
Right.
wasn't nothing to go up there and spend the night 2 3 days. But when we moved, they was on the north, we was on the south. So he would still go out his way to come over a little more or to pick me up and just let me be around him.
Right.
Just not even doing that, but just being a male present that's doing the right thing, that's hard working, that's blue collar, that's taking care of his family, that's pastoring the church. So that time spent around him helped to mold me, helped to mold my strength and the principles that my mother and grandmother had already instilled in me
Right.
from a manly perspective.
Right.
Just the respect and everything like that that comes with that. So I did have that. Uh, I don't even call it father figure. Like that's my dad. If somebody asks me who your dad, that's my dad. You know what I
Real.
mean? So I always looked at him in that light, and I still do to this day.
So when you got on the south side, when did you kind of start veering with the wrong crowd and hustling and you know what I'm saying, kind of like switching over to the hood side of things?
About I went to Philo right around this time of the year when school about to go back after Christmas break. So that first second half of the school year, I kind of was just feeling things out. That summer, 7th grade summer, now I'm smoking weed. Mom's keeping me fresh. All the new release shoes. Anybody know me know I stayed with the fresh shoes every time, new pair of shoes. Jordans, Dion's, Woods, whatever I had them. So it's like I wanted to smoke this weed, but mom's ain't about to be giving me money to smoke weed. She gonna give me money to go to school and eat lunch.
Right. Right.
But she keeping me fresh, so I don't need no money in my pocket. So now
Right.
it's like I got the urge to smoke, but I'm in a position where dudes will give me a couple of ounces to sell. I get that, I sell that, but I would smoke. So I'm basically hustling to smoke. And for everybody to say, well, shit, Bird got weed, you know what I mean? Bird got weed, let's go to Bird. So
Right.
it kind of like on the south side, it's like I was getting notoriety for the wrong things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So now, once you start to get notoriety for the wrong things, now you got to live up to these expectations. So now when people know that your name attached to this, you got to make sure that your name stand to it.
Already.
So now I see myself venturing off, and I had always been with my brother. We 18 months apart. It's 1 grade in between us. So when we first moved out, like I said, I was in sixth. My brother was in eighth. So 7th grade, my brother gone. My brother gone to Parkland High School. So now this one of the first times that I'm not there with him constantly.
Yeah.
We ain't going to the bus stop together. We ain't seeing each other in school. We ain't leaving together. We got different circles of friends.
Right.
So now he in the high school, he riding around in the cars with his friends. Well, I'm still walking on the block, hanging at the store all day, shooting pool all day, hustling, smoking, drinking Cisco like I'm grown, thinking
Yeah.
I'm grown.
Yeah.
So about 7th grade, that's when I start kind of hanging around the wrong people or doing the wrong things and just having the wrong concept of life as a teenager, you know what I mean? And by staying out late, by going home high, it took away from my grades. Like I always was good in school. I was naturally smart. My mom went to school to be an educator before she realized how bad kids was with me and my brother. And she backed out of the school system. So I always was naturally smart. So when I started hanging out, getting high, started venturing away from home. Venturing away from home took away from my schoolwork. So now when I get home, I'm smoked out, I'm tired, I'm blacking out, I'm going to bed. Next day, I'm going to school because I got to go show up fresh.
Right.
I got to go show up with the latest label
Right.
on and the
Right.
newest kid because I got to live up to the
Yeah.
expectations. So now school ain't even about learning. So my grades slacking. I ain't interested in school.
Now, um, did you do the, did you do all of this like say when your mom was at work? Like
Yeah.
you know how your mom gotta go to work, you got homeboys in the
Yeah.
house, y'all smoking and all of
Yeah.
that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Well, we ain't never really. My house wasn't the spot we going to because, like I say, my grandmother was always there from day one. But when we moved to the house, my mother was already a manager at J.C. Penney, but she had to take on a second job, cleaning banks. Not necessarily for the bills that come with you. If you've been in apartments paying rent your whole life, now you move to a house, you got mortgage, you got all these extra bills. So she didn't really take the job for that because it was two incomes still, my mother and my grandmother. But my mom took a second job cleaning banks downtown, more so to keep me and my brother spoiled the way we was before we moved into the house, even though it was taken away. So now she at work from 6, 7 in the morning to 9, 10 o'clock at night. So she not really there to really govern over us, make sure we doing what we doing. And I had the grandma that was strong in the sense of my grandma had the wisdom to know what we was doing, but she wouldn't ride our backs about it. Like I would literally pop up in the house 5 minutes before I know my mom gonna be there.
So you think she enabled you?
No, I wouldn't say enabled, but she just knew that we was at the age where they had instilled so much into us, and we was at the age where some things you got to learn for yourself.
Grandma
You
was
got to
probably
realize
tired.
your
Yeah.
decisions. And she would say it in a roundabout way. Like my grandma was a cook by nature. Like she stayed in the kitchen cooking. So as soon as you come in, she smell it on you. She see your bloodshot eye. So she would say something to let us know, like, look, you getting a little out of order. You need to reel it back in. But far as just you need to be home in this house after school, don't go nowhere. She let us kind of do our thing,
She gave you
knowing that eventually something gonna happen to make you sit down. And then when you sit down, now I'm gonna speak to you about it.
So was you getting in trouble?
Yeah, I started getting it. That's the first year I started getting in trouble, 7th grade year, just far as the law, just doing dumb stuff, man. Breaking and entering, possessing stolen goods, just doing young, dumb stuff, wild.
I remember y'all had them cars over there too. Y'all
Yeah,
getting
well, I
them
ain't never
cars.
messed with the cars. I always scared of the cars because I seen a cat named Moses get flipped in a stolen car. So I never really dealt with the stolen car, but just doing dumb stuff, man.
Yeah.
Going to break in the school in the summertime, just finding stuff for entertainment
Yeah.
because, like I say, it's nothing to do. You ain't got no rec center. You ain't got no bunch of kids out shooting a rock, playing football. So you do dumb stuff, and the dumb stuff leads to, no matter how dumb it was, it's criminal.
Right.
Now
Right.
coming up, without a father, would you say that like the boys? I think that they need their fathers, and not having a father present in the life. I mean, in your life, and you listening to your. I mean, you raised by your mom. Like, how is that? How did that affect you in life? Coming up.
If you would have asked me when I was young, I would tell you it didn't affect me. But now as a grown man, in my 40s, I look back and it put a lot of just anger and resentment in you. Not necessarily towards the black male, but just for authority.
Right.
Whether it be your school teacher, whether it be an officer on the street, no matter or whether you get to prison to be a correction officer, like that type of resentment because you didn't have that. And that can be used two ways. Like people can use that as an excuse for their shortcomings, or people can use that as an example to be better than that. So coming up, it was like you can't miss what's not there. But by not missing what's not there, it put like a resentment and an anger inside of you for authority. Because now, yo, you can't tell me nothing. I ain't got no dad to tell me. So how you think you gonna tell me something? You know what I mean? So it places that resentment factor inside of you.
So when you know, so when you and your Cody got together, how was it? Cause I mean, I ain't gonna front. I don't walk around with no halo over my head. Hell, I done made a lick or two before.
Yeah.
So how was it when you and your Cody like, bro, this what we finna do?
Well, actually, I was with my best friend that I had grew up with. We had been riding around, so I'll be with this guy every day for years. Met at the boys' club back when we was 5, 6 years old. He had a brother that was slightly older than him. He was the baby, and I had a brother slightly older than me. So all of us was clicked tight, and a couple more cats on C-Nail, Cornell Boulevard. We'd be together every day. So my Cody wasn't nobody that we was with regularly. He had a room on the south side and called my best friend, like, yo, come through, check me out. So my Cody, I actually knew from when I stayed in East Winston. I went to Ashley. He stayed in Fairchild. I stayed in Lakeside. So I did know him, was familiar with him, but we was never hanging out on the regular.
Right.
We just breezed through while they had something going on at the hotel by the marketplace on the outside of town. So when we get there, he wanted us to take him to go get some bud to burn. So we do that. And man, that one trip from the marketplace to Easton is probably about a 2 or 3 minute ride, man. And that 2 or 3 minute ride changed my life for the next 25 years, man.
Damn.
Brought me all the way up until this moment. So it wasn't nothing that was planned. And I know people was hurt in that situation. And I send my condolences to the Hart family. And even though I'm out here, I got certain parameters to keep me from reaching out to the victims in my case. But over the years, the victims of my case have came forward, signed affidavits on my behalf saying that I didn't have anything to do with the crime. I shouldn't have received the time that I received. And even the main victim that implicated my name being involved in the crime, after like 10, 12 years, he basically told a lawyer that I had investigated my case that I didn't participate in the crime, and more so he was just revengeful because of his injuries, because he was paralyzed from the crime.
So
He
okay,
just blamed anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. He was just out to get whoever he could at that moment. And
It's crazy.
okay, let's clear this up because it wasn't your case wasn't a murder.
no.
Okay, because a lot of people came to me like he killed them, and I was like, I don't
never
think he
killed
killed them.
nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he
it
was
wasn't
killed
murder.
later. He was killed later in a whole nother case, not pertaining to me. In my case, the main victim was paralyzed. He was shot one time in the lower back. When I got arrested.
So tell me about the arrest.
Okay.
Okay, when the crime happened, he got paralyzed.
Yeah.
How did it come from that to you getting caught?
Okay. When the crime happened, when we go there, he get in a dispute with my co-defendant about the price and the amount that he was selling to him. And even on the stand during the trial, he admitted that he basically tried to sell him half of what he wanted for the full price.
Okay.
And he admitted this on the trial, on the jury trial. And my whole case is public record, Terence Smith versus State of North Carolina. So all this public record, anybody want to check the facts on it. But he admitted that he tried to get over on the guy, and the guy pulled out the gun on him. When the gun came out, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know this was going to take place. I fled. I ran out because I wasn't out here playing with guns. I got a mouth on me, but I'll fight you all day, every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it come to that, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
But the gunplay, I was never into that. So I fled. So I remember seeing on the news, where in the newspaper, about the shooting, the police was looking for three black young suspects. All right. In the end, only 2 black male suspects was ever locked up for this. So my co-D got locked up first. They charged him with several shooting charges. 3 people were shot that night. One, the guy in the back that became paralyzed, a female got braids in the forehead, and then another male got shot in the leg. So he got locked up. He had the shooting charges. I'm still out. So when it first initially happened, everybody was saying that I did the shooting because I was known there because I used to go there and buy bud from him.
Right.
So everybody was saying I did the shooting. But the guy that was actually selling never knew me by my name. He just knew me by my face. Street gang way.
Yeah.
He just knew me. I come by from him. So when he found out my name, he was telling the detectives that I shot and killed him. I shot him and robbed him and shot the other victims at the house. So during the follow-up investigation, when he see the lineup, he pointed to my picture, called me my co-D name.
Okay.
So when the detective say, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." But then the detective tell him, "Well, that's not his name." So he let him know, "Well, that's my homeboy. He didn't shoot me. He didn't rob me." But up until this point, for several days, you were saying that I shot and robbed you. So once he seen my picture, he cleared that up after he was told my name.
Right.
So he cleared that up. So the co-D was locked up. So I'm still out. My thought process is, to tell the truth, I'm young. I'm scared as hell. I ain't never been in no trouble like this. But I know that I ain't committed no shooting or no robbery. So I stay low. You can call on the run or whatever, but I duck off friends' house, get out the city, stay a little bit. So I'm thinking that eventually my name gonna clear up and I'd be good.
Right.
It didn't play out that way.
How long was you on the run?
About roughly about 2.5 weeks. But I went and turned myself in.
Oh, okay.
I went and turned myself in thinking, okay, they ain't clearing my name up. I don't know what happened, but I'm about to go down here because I know I ain't shot nobody, ain't robbed nobody. So I go down there. When I originally got locked up, February 16th, 2000, I was charged with armed robbery, attempted armed robbery. No shooting charges.
At what age?
At 17. My 18th birthday was that June. I should have been graduating high school that June. I should have been planning for prom.
How much time did they give you, bro?
51 to 66 years.
For a robbery?
For a non-homicidal crime. But hold. Let me backtrack before we get to that. I get locked up middle of February. That October, the same year, 2000, the DA sent a plea. I got a lawyer that my family done struggled to hire. Supposedly one of the top lawyers in the state. Right now today, he the head professor at Wake Forest University. I go to trial with him. Well, he bring me a plea in October for 10 years. I only have 2 robbery charges. Attempted armed robbery. He bring me a plea bargain for 10 years. Quite naturally, at 17, people would say, well, you dumb not to take that plea. But anybody that can go back to 17 years old, you can't see the next 10 years of your life. 10 years is a life sentence to you as a 17-year-old.
Right.
And it's a double life sentence if you know you ain't committed no robbery against somebody. If you know you ain't took nothing from nobody, you ain't touched nobody, you ain't violated nobody's personal space, that's a double life sentence. So quite naturally, I didn't even let him finish the plea. But on the first paragraph, it said, we offer you a plea of 122 months. And part of this plea is to get on the stand and testify if your co-defendant goes to trial. That's the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, it said, if you do not take this plea, we're going to charge you with additional charges and give you the shooting charge that your co-defendant got. And we're going to take you to trial and we're going to boxcar all these charges. Now, anybody that's know any kind of understanding of the law, that's not a plea.
Right.
That's a threat. You basically telling me to sign my life for 10 years or you going to do this. You ain't giving me these extra charges because the detectives and the police officer that investigated the case came into the district attorney office and y'all sat down and had understanding that I partook in this crime and I should be further charged or additionally charged with this. You telling me because I don't do what you want me to do because I don't cooperate with you, I'm going to get shooting charges. Whereas if I had anything to do with the shooting charge or whatever it may be, you should have gave me all those charges when I was arrested at one time.
So how was your lawyer trying to get you to take the plea, or how was he doing it?
Through the years, recently, you can see on CarolinaPublicPress.org, a digital newspaper, this lawyer, he's one of the most prominent lawyers in Winston-Salem, not just in Winston-Salem, but in North Carolina. In fact, he was the one everybody know about the Darrell Hunt case, one of the most racially divided cases in the city of Winston-Salem.
And Winston-Salem got a bad rap about locking people up for no reason.
Yeah, but he actually was the lawyer that fought for Darrell Hunt and got Darrell Hunt out of prison. Now, he got Darrell Hunt out of prison after my trial. But when he brought me that plea, he didn't even know when I got charged additionally for these other charges. So now I'm scrambling and gambling. My family done sacrificed everything they had to pay this man. But you don't even know when I get charged additionally. But if you go back to what I just spoke on about CarolinaPublicPress.org, through the years, I never gave up fighting my case. I stayed filing. But when I went to trial, I don't feel like he represented me the way I should have been represented. And he has even went on to say in his past couple of years that he advised me to take the plea bargain. You never advised me to take the plea bargain. I'm a young black kid, single mother, scraping up every dime she got to pay you. You're not looking at my best interest. You're looking at your best interest from a financial standpoint. Whereas when I went to trial, my family had to scrape up thousands of more dollars to be put on the trial when I had 2 charges. I went from 2 charges to 7 charges, and you don't even know about it. So now it's time to go to trial right after that. There's no way you can prepare a case in a matter of weeks
Right.
from the charges to trial. There's no way you can. That's why people in the county jail sit 2, 3, 4 years because the lawyers and the DAs trying to prepare the case. I literally went from 2 charges to 7 charges and was in trial in a matter of weeks. So there's no way you prepared to defend me.
How long did the trial take?
The trial was started on a Monday morning. By Friday, I was sentenced to 51 to 66 years.
So just tell me, bro, how you felt when they gave you that damn time, bro. Like,
It's like you feel a numbness, but my first thought went to my mother.
right.
My first thought
That's
went
real.
to my mother because, just like you said earlier, I'm the type, if I throw a rock, I ain't hiding my hand. If I threw it, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I threw it and I hit you with it. So in that sense, my mom always been there, believed in me, always kept her faith in me, and she knew if I ever mess up, I do wrong, I'm gonna tell you because you ain't raised me to run from none of my actions. You didn't raise me to tell lies about my actions. So I stood on my truth that entire time, and to stand on my truth, and like I say, everything about my case public record. Don't get on the stand or nothing. And my case, it was 4 victims that testified in my case. You can literally pull up my trial transcript and see their testimonies. Everybody's inconsistent. Everybody's saying different things. What they told the police on the night the crime happened is totally different from what they said on the stand. And everybody, not just them, but me too, everybody was traumatized about it. Like I say, we was high school kids supposed to be planning for the prom. You supposed to be thinking about the next girl you're gonna try to holler at. Whereas you got kids sitting in the courtroom that's designed for adults, and you got proceedings and words being saying that even grown adults don't understand.
They speak a different
So
language
now,
when you go to court.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got this district attorney that's overjealous in how he want to prosecute and punish people. You got him telling them, like, he literally had a meeting a week before.
Was it Severo?
No, Jim O'Neill, the head district attorney of Forsyth now. But he literally had a meeting with them a week before. So up until trial, my name was never implicated in partaking and having nothing to do with the crime. Only thing is, I came there with my co-D.
Did your co-defendants, like, did they say that you had something to do with it?
No. Only one person said that I had something to do with it.
So
And that was the individual that got paralyzed. And that was just kind of more so, like, I always sympathized. Like, I never was angry with him because I could understand if I was to get paralyzed and you brought somebody to my house, I would feel that same animosity towards you as the person. So I never was angry with him, and I understood that.
Now, what I want to ask you, like, what was your fate like? I mean, like, me, I would feel like, if I didn't do something and I got that much time and God knows that my heart was pure and I told the truth, I think I would lose my faith a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
No, you can't. Like, it goes back, like I tell you.
Because you knew you weren't innocent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The crime was committed.
People were hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the time that they gave you didn't sit with the damn charge.
In that sense, it's like I was never built in it. And don't get me wrong, when I first got that time, when I first went to prison, I always knew I'd be right back out here in Winston. I never thought that it would take 24 years, but I knew I wasn't going to die in prison. And you can call that fate, you can call that strength, faith, prayer, whatever. But I knew in my heart and in my mind that I was going to never give up, and I knew I'm going back home, and I'm going to make it back out here to my mother before something happened to her.
Do you believe that, God does things in mysterious ways? Like, he could have been shielding you, by you being locked up, you know what I mean? Like, he could have saved your life or anything. You feel me? Like, we might look at it like, oh, I'm stuck in this situation, but like I said, God don't make no mistakes, and everything that God got for you is for you.
Yeah, when we get further in the story, I'm a parallel that. But my cousin is sitting right here smiling. She probably don't even remember. But years back, man, I told you I grew up with a brother, step for step, step for step. I'm talking about we look alike, act alike, dress alike, been together every day of our life. My brother disappeared in the early 2000s, and my cousin wrote me a letter, and she said, I can't say the lines verbatim, but she basically told me that the prison walls could actually be God placing me in a secure place to gain my wings where I can fly on my own.
Right.
Because
right.
had not I been there, I very well could have been with my brother. When my brother went missing and disappeared, he remained missing for 16 years, and we'll get to all dealing with that further along in the story.
So okay, so by you going to prison at such a young age, was it old school OGs telling you to get in that law library and go ahead like when you first started like I'm finna advocate to get up out of here. Like who kind of pushed you in the back to
when you first off, I started at one of America's most dangerous prisons at that time. They even had a segment on 60 Minutes about this being one of the most deadliest prisons, and this was a youth facility. Nobody over 18. There's no shanks, there's no weapons or none of that, but it's just a high level of violence. So you take somebody that's been in the county jail for a year and a half, that's still a teenager, that ain't even started to live life. Now you take them and you place them in a room, and you leave them in a room for 5 or 6 weeks for processing purposes. Purposes. So now you isolated. You're around nobody. They pop the doors. You got no toilet in your room, no running water in your room. So you got 12 men on one hallway, 12 men on another hallway, and you got a bathroom area that they had to pop your door out to let you come to with 3 toilets and 3 sinks on each side. So now you got 24 guys that's been locked in their room like an animal in a cage all night. So first thing out, as a male, the first thing you got to do, you got to go take a piss. You got to use the bathroom. So you got 3 toilets. You can't use the middle toilet because nobody gonna stand in the middle. So you got to stand on the outside. So now you got to get to the sink, wash your face, brush your teeth. Because when you go back to the room, you're in that room for 4 or 5 more hours before you come out. So now you got total chaos. So now you got to come out. Now you got to worry about everybody fresh with all this time. Because for every one of me in every prison I've been on, it's 10 to 15 more guys. So you got guys with all this time that's stuck in the room, that's pent up aggression, everything tense environment. So now when you go to prison, you in self-preservation mode. Like you got to fight every day, no matter. It wasn't gangs when I first went to prison. When I first went to prison, it was cities. 336 rolled together, 919, 910, Charlotte. So now, because this dude from Charlotte got a beef with this dude from Winston, because I'm from Winston, now I got to be on point because somebody from Charlotte gonna get at me. So now you really never get the chance to process the crime, the trial, the sentence. You never get to process that because you got to be on your toes and you got to be standing because everything violent. You go to the canteen, you come back up on the elevator. They had a camera on the elevator. You cover the camera up with a folder. Dudes getting jumped on 5 or 6 people. So I always knew when I went in there, I'm gonna make it out of here. I ain't gonna let nobody hurt me. I ain't in here trying to hurt nobody, but I ain't gonna let nobody hurt me.
So when you left the high rise, is that when you pretty much got focused on your case when you had time?
It took a while. I left the rise and I did the rounds on all the youth spreads for those who know high rise, Morrison, Foothills. Then my first adult spread was Marion. So when I hit Marion, it's like you can just, even though you're still in prison, you can you can breathe. Because now you're around the older group. So now dudes working jobs, dudes getting visits. So it's kind of different. It ain't all that tense. If something happens, it's handled. But you ain't got just foolery, just fights going on because of where you from, where I'm from. So
it's kids mostly on the youth spreads and stuff like that. So when you reach the adult spread, everybody pretty much laid back.
Everybody ain't with all of that. And that's
everybody,
when you really start getting focused on your case.
Now I sit down and I write prison legal service out the gate. But my mother still had been scraping up her pennies to pay this lawyer that represented me in trial. So now you going through the appeal process, which that kind of was like a waste of time because, like I say, the effort wasn't there. You already got your money. You paid in full. So now you don't care about me. I'm a young black male. You know what I mean? I'm just another victim to the system from the choices I made. And at the end of the day, what really got me pushing is if you don't believe in your own truth, you can never expect somebody else to believe in your truth. And at that time, being young and not knowing how to articulate or to express what was going on and what happened. I grew up in Lakeside, so it was never told to me, don't snitch, don't tell on nobody. That was embedded in you. That's something you know from birth that you don't do. So it's like up until then, I never even talked about the crime with nobody. I told my lawyer before I turned myself in, step for step, what happened. And I'm thinking about me telling him that enables him to help how to represent me. That wasn't the case. So once you're in that system, man, you paying these lawyers, or you get, Lord knows if you get a quarter point lawyer, they feel like once they see you in that jumpsuit in that system, oh, you did it.
It's over. You're right.
You did it. So you don't really have nobody fighting for you. So that's when I started to realize, like, yo, I got to sit down here and figure this out myself. So I started writing prison leave shirt. They'd send me a pack back. So I got on the schedule where I would stay up all night, sleep a little bit during the day, but I would stay up all night because at nighttime, that's when the prison peaceful.
Right.
You can do things. So I sit on the night light, fill out packets, send them off to prison leave service. They send it back. Well, there's nothing we can do to help you. So now I always had family support. I always got visits at least once a month my whole bid. So now I tell them, Mom, we got to get another lawyer.
All right. Real recognize real, man. Y'all be sure to like. Y'all be sure to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Realest podcast in North Carolina on the East Coast. OG say down south, but you see right now, man, it's real. So I see you took a picture with a woman, lawyer.
That's
okay. Now
that's my heaven sent angel right there.
Okay.
That's Miss Joanna Jennings. She had a nonprofit agency that's dedicated to representing, serving, and helping young black males that's sentenced and done wrongly and got unjust sentences, unjust prison terms.
How did you hear about her?
Actually, when Governor Roy Cooper, shout out to Governor Roy Cooper, when he created Executive Order 208, which was designed for anyone that was sentenced under 18 to excessive sentences. If you had done 15 years and you had boxcar sentences, you could apply for commutation. Earlier, you had said that my sentence was pardoned. Actually, my sentence wasn't pardoned. My sentence was commuted.
Oh, it's different. What's the difference?
With a pardon clears your name altogether.
Okay.
If they give you a pardon, that means you can go sue the state for a wrongful conviction.
Oh, you get money.
Yeah. Whereas in my case, like I say, I had 11 lawyers, man. Damn. 11 different lawyers. I filed 6 different motions, and everything I ever filed was turned down. And it took the head authority figure in the state of North Carolina to say, hold up, let that man out of prison. Not because I was in there going to Bible study, baking cookies, but because anybody, a blind person, can look at my sentence and look at my crime and my case and know this man should have never been in prison, much less 24 years.
Yeah.
So all these courts, North Carolina Supreme Court, 4th District, all these courts turned down everything that I filed. Well, Roy Cooper office seen my petition, and when he created the executive order, Miss Joanne Jennings out of Durham, North Carolina, she had her own agency, the Decarceration Project. And like I say, it was dedicated to young black males that was caught in an unjust criminal system. She reached out to me wanting to file my petition for me. So when she reached out to file my petition for me, quite naturally, I was iffy about it. Because for 20 plus years, I done went through the cycle of lawyers. I done had the big name lawyers in the state. I done had some nonprofit agency lawyers in the state. And truth be told, the nonprofit agency lawyers helped me far greater than the lawyers that were just taking my mother money.
Right.
So would it be like legal aid or something like that?
Yeah, well, prison legal service basically like legal aid, but legal aid is more so legal aid is more so county based. Okay. But prison legal services help everybody in the state. But this lady that helped me, Miss Joanna Jennings, that I had the picture with, she took it a step further. Like she wasn't working in the field of being an attorney for the career of it. She was working in it because of what's right here in her heart. Like she got a passion for it. She got a passion of seeing, not wanting to see people done wrong in that court system.
Good lady.
Yeah.
And another thing too, like I feel like if in the state of North Carolina, right? You know what I mean? Like what they saying, and like if I go with somebody and I don't know what you're doing, and say you rob somebody, you decide to shoot somebody, and I run. You feel me? The fact that I didn't tell about it, like I knew about a crime, but I didn't report the crime.
They call
That's
it culpability.
yeah.
That's what that's eventually basically what I when Miss Jennings got in, when she started to file my petition, she explained that to me. But at that point, I had already accepted that because, like I say, I went to a place, whether I took somebody there, whether I showed up there with them, I went to a place where people were shot and hurt and lives was changed.
Yeah.
So to an extent, even though I didn't pull the trigger, rob nobody, I still have some fault in that because people were hurt. So in that sense, through maturity and just through understanding my faith and understanding and growing closer to God, I had long ago accepted that. And that's why I was never bitter at the one individual for implicating my name, because I always understood my name was implicated, not because it was fact, but because of just his injuries and what he had to deal with. If you go from being a normal person to you got to be careful and can't get out of bed, you're going to have some strong feelings for whoever it may be.
Now, later on in your bid, the guy who was paralyzed ended up getting killed.
12 years. 12 years later. My case was in 2000. In 2012, a case basically parallel to mine. A friend of his showed up, the cop from him. Originally, the police chief of Winston-Salem Police said, quoted in the Winston-Salem paper, that it was an argument about money between the two friends. And they didn't know which one owed who money. And they said that it was drugs involved. But she grabbed a gun during the argument and shot him, whereas he was shot once in the back of the head and once in the arm. And keep in mind, in my case, he was shot once. I ended up receiving 2 shooting charges. I got attempted murder charge, which they gave me 24 years for, and I got assault with a deadly weapon to inflict serious injury, which I got 8 years for. So that was over 32 years for this one bullet. Now, this white female that was 19 in 2012, she showed up, whatever happened, I don't know. Nobody, only 2 people was there, and one of them not here to tell the other side of the story. But she was charged with first-degree murder. By the time her case came up in court, they had dropped the first-degree murder charge to second-degree murder and allowed her to plead to 12 years. Now, I was offered 10 years for 2 robbery charges, whereas she was offered 12 years for taking a life.
And you didn't have no record.
No record, no adult record. I had a little juvenile stuff, no
See,
adult record.
That's the problem that we have in our society, where like a black dude can commit a crime and somebody white can commit the same exact time, but they're gonna give us more time. Yeah. They been doing that.
In that story, she committed a worse crime.
She committed a worse crime and got a third of what I got for 2 charges.
How did you feel when you heard about that, bro? Like,
was the thing is, what kept me at peace is, like I say, eventually when I had a lawyer that was fighting for me, she was out of Raleigh. She came back to Winston and actually found the victim and talked to him, and he told her that I didn't have nothing to do with the crime, that he was just mad about his injuries or whatnot, and he felt I had too much time. Before they could get back down here to get him to sign an affidavit like the other victims did, he was killed. The same month. They seen him in January, and they was going to come back a second time and get the affidavit, and he was killed February the 5th of 2011, 2012. It was nearly 10 or 12. I think it was 12 years to the date of when my crime happened. But by the time she went to trial, like I say, they dropped it down to second degree. So when I heard that she got 12 years, I didn't have time to be angry.
Right.
Because I was motivated to get up out of there myself. So I ain't had time to be angry. But in the back of my mind, I knew they gave her 12 years for murder. I ain't got to fight that.
Right.
There's other people that's going to see that and know that, that's going to fight that. So just stay keyed in. When you're in prison, man, if you ever watch horse racing, you see the horses got blinders on their side. So they can't see what's going on the track. They got to look straight forward. So I had to look straight forward. I had to keep them blinders on and stay straight forward. and she just recently was released. She got out last year. She got out last February. All this is why my petition is in. So she got out last February. So now, not only did y'all give somebody 12 years for killing the same guy that y'all gave me 30 years for one bullet when she had two, now she done served a 12-year sentence. So now she free. She back to her life for killing the same man that I got all this time for me. And in a way, because of her crime, what was erased off the table, what bothered me more than anything, the truth can still never be told in my case. Like, you robbed me of that.
Let me tell you what your situation, well, the situation kind of remind me of two Americas. You know how January 6th, you know how they stormed the White House?
Yeah.
If we'd have did that, we'd have been dead.
We'd have been dead.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's two Americas.
All you
like,
heard, shots fired,
shots fired. Yeah, they can do things. We can do the same exact thing, but they're gonna give me more time. That's just crazy.
That's
like
the way of the world of America.
And bro, you got kids, you got people out here that's taking advantage of kids, raping kids, getting smacked on the hand 2-3 years, and they back out here. Like I just don't get that.
Real recognize real, man. Y'all be sure to like. Y'all be sure to subscribe. Y'all be sure to tune in. We got Terence Smith with us, man. First exclusive interview since being home, man, and we thank him for that. So when you bro, when you sitting, on your bunk, you just thinking, when did you get that call or that letter that said, you know what, we out of here?
Oh man, let me before that, let me touch on one thing. When I knew for sure I was coming out. Like I say, anybody that know me, they know me as T-Bird. They know my brother is D Boogie. So D went missing in 04, 05, 03. My brother went missing in 03.
Did they find him?
Yeah, my mom never gave up. Like, insurance tried to get my mom to sign documents to get a cash policy cashed in for him, but my mom never gave up her faith. So, long story short, my brother was missing for 16 years. And because my mom, my family never gave up, they kept his name in missing persons databases, local, state, for the whole country, national databases. So in 22, now I kind of gave a part of my story how my mom sacrificed everything to move us out of Lakeside. In 22, a dive team all the way from Oregon, all the way across the country, a nonprofit Christian-based organization, somehow heard about my story. My family kind of, when you're in prison, your family really don't let you know what's what because they know you're dealing with enough. I didn't really know the details, but somehow they got wind of my brother's story. They came all the way from the West Coast here, and they started at the lake.
Yeah, when they drained the lake or something. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but see, they had drained the lake. They said they didn't drain it. They say dredge. So that means you just canvas the bottom, not the whole lake.
With a camera.
With a magnet. Yeah, with a magnet and a camera or something.
So this faith-based organization came. So a dive team went out there, and he dived. They found a van down there, and he was about to leave. But something in his spirit told him, go check that spot over here. You know, when you first come in the lake, it's a wall right there. Now they got a barrier right there. Back then, there was no barrier.
Yeah.
But he checked right there. As soon as you come in, the first street coming in off of 311 Waterworks, he checked that area right there. So he had already been over there, but something told him to go back. So they end up hitting on something. He went down, took the tag off the car, came up. When they ran the tag, they knew my brother was in the missing data port. So my uncle, the one I say my father, they called my mom and let her know, we think we found D car. So my uncle go down there, identify the car. But when they raised my brother up out of that lake, it was just like, yo, everything my mom sacrificed to get us away from my brother's life ended in the same damn spot.
Damn.
That's deep.
That's
Lakeside, literally called Lakeside because it's a lakeside view from Winston Lake. So to realize, like, dang, everything full circle. So I had my petition in that Joanna Jennings had already filed with the governor. So now it's like God working in amazing ways because up until this point, I had been in prison like 22, 23 years. I never had a fighting charge. I had plenty of fights, but I never got caught.
That is?
I never got caught fighting. for some reason, bro, I had got into it with somebody and got placed in said. So when they find my brother, I'm in said. I'm on lockup. So they come get me and say, yo, we gotta take you to the superintendent office. Now I'm already uh, hurt and disappointed because I never had a fighting charge. And at the time when the governor created this order, now I got this write up pending over me. I got this all this working in my favor. Now I get my first fighting charge. And that was God way once again protecting me. Because if I would have been on the yard and found out that news from my brother, just the mental state and what you're dealing with, it'll put you on edge. You be ready to just tear something up because you hurting inside, you angry inside. So luckily I was in said, so they called me to tell me, we need you to talk to your mom. She need to talk to you about something. So I talked to her on the phone. She tell me. So I find that out. So then now I'm really motivated to get out of here now because I know my mom hurting. But we prayed to know where my brother was at. And when you pray for things, you might not get what you want, but you're gonna get what God wants you to have. So in that sense, we got closure for that. So it kind of bothered me. Like it was weighing on me. I really didn't talk to nobody about it. So this one guy, man, named Philip Ferguson, I met him on a youth spread. He had 50 years. He's still in prison. And some people can say a life sentence is justified, but if you commit a crime 17, 18, 19 years old,
Your
there's
frontal
no
lobe is not
justifying 50
developed yet.
years. Yeah,
Your frontal lobe is not developed. Your
Yeah.
frontal lobe don't develop until you're 24.
Yeah,
So
and that's proven science.
yeah,
So,
like, cause think about this, kids do the craziest stuff. I mean, like, and you know, we all do crazy things when we kids. You know what I mean? So just think that how can you charge a kid like an adult, and shit, like I said, his mind ain't even developed yet. So
but when that happened, um, for the petition, they wanted us to write. They wanted a biography to be done on us. So I always was good at writing. So I wrote an autobiography, short autobiography, basically me telling my story like I am now on Real Recognized Real 336 podcast. So when I did that, when the lawyer that was helping me see, she said, "You got good writing skills and you got good handwriting." So a light bulb went on. Bing. Go write your story in the book form. Write your story in the autobiography, and use your story to give God's glory.
Already.
So
amen.
I'm working on that. So this dude, like I said, I had been big with him for over 20 years. He came, he know, like I could talk to him. Like he knew everything that was going on with the petition, with them finding my brother. He was like, bro, he was like, just focus on getting that book done before you get out of here. He like, man, you gonna get out of here. He like, the reason why they found your brother and the reason why that Roy Cooper made this petition at this time, he told me named Philip Ferguson out of Raleigh, man. He told me, say, that was God's way of raising both of your mom's sons at the same time. He raised your brother out that late, and he about to raise you up out of prison.
Amen. That's real.
So in that sense, that's when I really buckled down. And like, man, I was going through some health issues. I wasn't eating. I was losing weight. I had a lot going on because the mind controlled the body.
Right.
And when the mind ain't settled, the body ain't settled.
Right.
So the worrying, just worrying about if the governor gonna accept this commutation, if he gonna grant me release, I was holding on to all that. But once I got past that situation with my brother and locked in, I said, yo, like I say, for every one of me, you can go to any prison yard in North Carolina and there's 10 more cases, like if not more. So it's like, yo, just focus on writing this autobiography, and I'm gonna come back when I get the book done and get it printed. But it's gonna be the unpainted picture, and it's gonna be a memoir of trials and tribulations and how you remain strong through faith, no matter what you endure in life. You got to persevere.
Right.
Now I want to know this. The support system. You say your mom was heavy in your life and stuff like that throughout your bed. Is your mom is she still alive? You know what I
And
mean?
my mom smiling ear to ear. She ain't stopped smiling since the day I got out here.
Well, give your mom a shout out.
Yeah, shout out, mom. I love you, Deborah. I love you.
I got to actually Tamika sent me the picture you and your mom took a picture together. They had on all white.
All right, I had to come out heavily, man, because I know God brought me out.
Right.
Hey, bro, that's what people think about when they get that time. Like, see, my brother, he just got out from doing 20 years also.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you do that much time, you lose family members, people that you love dearly, you know.
But when you in there, it hurts you, but you don't have time for it to weigh on you. Because you dealing with the prison life. Like you dealing with COs, you dealing with mental health dudes, like you dealing with dudes that's twanking out, dudes that's jaded out all day. Like you dealing with so much day to day. Like I lost several people, even with my brother. When they found my brother, when my brother first went missing, I never had an opportunity to grieve. I never shed a tear because in there you can't show signs of weakness in no form.
Right.
Because the minute you show signs of weakness, now you're gonna be preyed upon.
Did your brother ever come visit you?
Yeah, my brother was coming to visit me. My brother went missing when he was 24. So I had been locked up maybe 6 years, but my incarceration affected my brother. Like we was always together, like step for step.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when I left, it wasn't just that I was leaving my brother. Like that's my best friend. That's who I look up to. You know what I mean? And that's who paved the way for me. So when we got separated, it hurt my brother more than it did me. You know what I mean? And my brother dealt with his own issues behind that. You know what I mean? Behind that trauma of always having me there with him to not having me there. You know what I mean? So when he came to see me, it's like we could talk, but in that setting with moms there, like I can't really talk to bro about what's going on, or I can't talk about the streets with bro because I don't want my dudes thinking I'm still trying to know what's going on out here.
Hey, part yourself too. This to all the little young homies out there, man. You not like when you get locked up, you not just hurting yourself, you hurting the people that love you genuinely. You feel me? Because they locked up too. They got to do that time with your butt too. They got to come see you. They got to send you their money. You feel me? They bill money, the money that they was going to eat with. So, like I said, take time and think about what you going to think about your actions before you go and do something.
Definitely.
Because 2 minutes of your time will have you serving a life sentence.
Not just you and your family.
And I'm gonna tell you what changed my whole life, man. Like I don't even know if you remember the case, but when the Army surplus store got robbed on Walktown, you know, that was me and my homeboys, but I had to work that day. So my brother was like, what they finna go do? I'm like, well, shit, they finna go rob the Army surplus store. I like, I gotta work. I like, they need another person. He was like, I'm going. So when they went to go rob the store, the woman got shot in the back of the back of the head. My brother didn't do it. When he heard the shot, he ran. Yeah. But like you say, he was with them. You know, they end up giving They end up giving my brother 18 years.
That's the thing with robbery too. Like, you know, robbery can go 2 ways. No, 3 ways, really.
You can get
killed, go to jail, or paralyzed. You feel me? Like, so with that being said, man, we got to think about our actions as young kids. Well, young kids got to think about their actions before they do things. Like I got a little cousin right now. The story sort of similar to yours. Yeah. You feel me? I don't want to get into it, but you know, like I said, he a young boy. You feel me? And I was telling him he went to college and everything. And actually, all 3 of the boys went to college. They just messed their life up. One boy had a scholarship to go to Virginia Tech to play football. He won. Messed his life up.
Yeah. So when my brother got them 18 years, I felt bad because he overheard my conversation. But that's how God put you in them situations. Like either it was you or him. So I felt it upon myself. I had to hold my brother down his whole 18 bid because he wasn't even supposed to be in that shit. Yeah. Like these my 3 best friends and my brother. My mom knew like, why the hell is your brother with your 3 homeboys? But me, I don't know. Of course I ain't gonna never say nothing. I never said anything, but I was just reiterating that to show you how easy it is to get caught up in the situation, man, and how hard it is to get out of. You know what I'm saying? My brother home, Vic, he doing good. He married, everything, you know. So, but I definitely feel your situation on it, man.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like certain stuff I be feeling charged and weight on, right? You know what I mean? Like this is my word, honest to God. If I take you somewhere, right? If I take you somewhere and you don't tell me that you gonna rob something, you rob something, kill something, I ain't do nothing. I'm telling on your ass. Oh man, you can say what you want to say about me. You put me in a fucked up predicament. You feel me? Like, man, come on, bro. Like we as men.
We say that as men.
Like, hold on, let me tell you too though. Like my stuff, I'm gonna be held accountable for my stuff. If you're riding in the car with me and we get caught with something, That's my stuff. You're not gonna even have to go downtown.
Yeah.
I'ma tell these folks, yeah, this is my stuff. He ain't got nothing to do with it.
But
You
it
feel
ain't
me?
like that no more.
But your
You
dudes ain't
know,
gonna take
they
saying.
taking both of y'all downtown and charging both of y'all with the.
You might try to say it's
Yeah.
yours.
I would have, like me personally, if I was the one that did that, I would feel so bad. I'm not gonna put y'all in my situation. I'm gonna tell them I did everything. I'm gonna tell them what really happened. Look, man, I shot them. I'm gonna even say that y'all ain't even go. You feel me? Like, that's my word. If it's no need for me to get everybody in trouble and I done shot the man. Come on, man. And you ain't know that we finna go rob this guy. You feel me? And I just up and rob him and paralyze the
But
man.
see,
Come on,
in
man.
that instant, I feel like with my case, inside I know he ain't go there to do that. And I think things just escalated to that. So in that sense, when that happened and nobody trying to say nothing, but you got these kids in this house getting high, partying and whatnot, somewhere where their parents probably don't even know they was at that night. And now the police calling them saying, we need you to get to the hospital, your child been shot.
Yeah.
So now the police and the DA know that they can conspire to get whatever they need them to say done for a conviction. So even if
They were just
even
ready
if
to
the
close the
code D was
case.
to say,
Right.
hey, I did this, he ain't had nothing to do with that. The DA and the police department are by design to solve cases. They're not gonna have shootings happening out here and they're not getting resolved. Because now you got the public thinking, oh, you got these teens just running around out here just blasting everything up. Yeah. And we don't know what to do. We don't know who to put it on. So they gonna close the case. So if that means coercing this victim or basically telling this victim, using your authority, like we need you to say this or you need you to say that. Grown men don't know how to do a trial. But 5% of people go to trial for a reason.
I got another question for you. Do you think you need to see a psychologist?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Like
I've been reaching out, and I done had like my support system reaching out, and I need not just any kind of counseling or psychiatry, but I need a specific kind, race, male.
Definitely
Like
race.
I need a specific kind to cater that, not just in my own personal life, but going to prison, it traumatizes you, and a lot of people in prison don't know how to articulate themselves. It's a low intelligence rate in there, and the prison system not designed to prepare you for being in prison or release. And especially somebody like me
you don't get
that had all that time.
Right. It don't rehabilitate you. That's my word. It definitely don't.
So it's a lot of trauma. Like I think back to like just sounds like hearing somebody get smacked with a master lock in their sleep in the middle of the night, and hearing or seeing somebody getting stabbed and hearing that sound of blood gushing out of their body, like things like that traumatize you and fuck you up just being real.
On top of
Like
what
it
you
fuck
already
up.
was dealt.
Right.
I mean, when you was little, you seen so much stuff already. We already traumatized as, as the black community anyway. Then we got to watch out for police. They killing us. It's a lot of things that's happening. You feel me? Like, let me ask you another question. Would you be open? Because there's a lot of people that's going through the same things that you're going through. Would you be up for, like AA meetings and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Get
no
together,
doubt.
you
Like,
feel me, and talk to people that's like you that went through it. Like I said, you can. I can see you counseling little kids.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Like everything. The reason why I'm on this podcast, the minute when Meek put us on, she always knew what I want to do out here. Like I want to use my story to reach back to the youngest because at the end of the day, I remember like at the club here we had Blackburn. One of my main mentors, Tony Burton. Everybody know Burton from Peachtree back in the day.
Big Burt.
Yeah, so we had people to sit and talk to us and lead us on the right path. And even though I went astray, what they put in me always stayed in me. It still helped mold the man that I am.
They felt like you was hard headed at the time.
At
it was
the
going
time,
in one ear out the other,
So,
but you got it.
In that sense, they voice registered to me. But now, I just did 25 years in prison. I'm on the street in the right mind with the right heart, and I know I got a purpose out here. It ain't too many people that can offer that to the kids that's out here making these bad decisions. Whether it's flunking out in school, whether it's getting high, whether it's messing with the gang, whether it's on the street, whether you call yourself being real or whatever it matter.
You got to cash up.
I ain't got no cash. I ain't.
We got to get my boy Cash out, man. Like my boy did 25 years, man. We gonna definitely look out for my boy.
But
he need to get a Cash App, y'all.
You know, he mentioned Big Burt. And Big Burt was one of my main mentors at Petrie, man. Big Burt came up to me. You know, he done lost a lot of weight.
Big Burt been. I got the pictures. I got the pictures, man. I'm gonna have you post pictures. Yeah. Big Burt was there from the day I caught that time to the day I walked out that prison, man.
Shout out to Burt,
Day one, man. Ever since he met me, man. He always took it like to me. When I was on juvenile probation, when they wanted to send me to training school, Burton in that courtroom, he don't need to go there. He better than that.
Yeah.
Let him come with me. Yeah. Even though he aged out of my school, let him come with me. And the courts respected that. And even with the petition, Burton put in a support letter, and Burton carried weight around here in the big community,
big weight.
In the education department. Like he carried weight around here, and he for us.
Definitely
like he for us. You know what I mean? Like he truly loved and passionate about seeing us do the right thing, seeing us prosper. And one thing about Burt, once he with you, he never turn his back. He never give up.
Big Burt walked up to me. He had lost all the weight. He was like, "You don't even know who I am." I was like, "Nah, bro, I don't know." He was like, "Well, I'm Big Burt, man. I had to get a homie a hug, man, because I'm like, bro, they don't make him like you no more, bro. Like it's so political out here, man. Like you ain't care about none of that back in the days, bro, and you still don't." And I told him I love him, man, and I gave him a hug, man, because I appreciate all the work he do out here, man. His name, like you say, his name doesn't get mentioned enough out here in these streets, man.
Bro, what do you see yourself at in like 5 years? Like, what is your 5-year goal from now?
I ain't gonna lie to you. What I'm doing for 5 days from now is just like everything overwhelming. I barely been out 30 days, but I know everything that I want to do, from authoring a book, from starting a mentor program, from getting myself where I can get into the school system and just be a benefit to the young kids that came up like we did and didn't have the mentors like we had, you know what I mean? And just giving back to the community, man, and just using my experience to get on platforms like this and touch that one that's headed down that wrong path. That might say, "Yo, I heard him say something gonna make me tighten up. I'm about to fall back from y'all. I'm about to go over here, get in school and deal with these chicks over here and stay out the way."
And that's why me and OG started the podcast for this, bro. For people like us, you know, that don't walk around with no halo over their head every day. You know what I'm saying? Like people that make mistakes and trying to get back on the right track. So what date was it when you actually got that call and got that letter that you was going home?
November 13th. I was at Albemarle Correction, November 13th. And they called my name over the intercom. Terence Smith, report to the case manager office.
You were farting like him.
Yes. No, I ain't knowing.
No, I'm talking about when you found out the news, you were farting like him. Filled with joy.
But what's crazy, man?
Did you know?
Nah, what was okay? I'll tell you what's crazy. I told you, man. The autobiography coming. The story of Terence Smith coming soon. But I had literally wrote the beginning of my book. It's starting out, and I'm literally getting out of prison. I'm talking about step from step. Anybody that been in prison, you know they're gonna call you to receiving. You're gonna change out. You're gonna go through the emotions. The family gonna be at the gate. I literally start the book off like that. And I'm getting that to y'all for free right now. But I literally started the book off with that because I knew that time was coming. But then I end that realizing I'm dreaming. Then I go back to the beginning of my life. So when they called me, I'm thinking just a regular case manager vision. I know Roy Cooper don't leave out of office till the end of 24. So they ain't turned my petition down yet. I done been around guys that filed theirs and they heard that theirs was turned down. So November 13th, they called me out there, 11:35 that morning. So I go out there, they say, Terence, I say, yes. They say, we need to make a phone call for you. Somebody need to talk to you. So in prison, if you ain't no more chaplains in the prison system. So if they call you telling you
something happened,
you need to make a phone call, somebody done died, something done happened. Right. So the first thing went through my mind, no, not even my mother, my uncle. The one that's my father. Yeah. He in his 80s now. And he had been dealing with some health struggles. He had got weakened. So the first thing I'm thinking, that's why I went to Albemarle to be closer to him because I hadn't got to see him because he couldn't travel. So the first thing I'm thinking, Lord, don't let nothing happen to my father. Don't let nothing happen to my uncle. So I guess they could tell my body language, my face expression. So it was 2 counselors. So that kind of was strange to me. So she was like, well, Terence, it's not nothing bad. They just tell you no one died or anything. So then I kind of let my mind drift. But I still didn't let it go toward what I would think.
Right.
So she called. So lady with sweetest voice I done heard on the phone say,
Is that
Terence.
your lawyer?
Nah.
Okay.
She say, Terence? I said, yes. She said, this is such calling from Raleigh, and we just want to let you know that Governor Roy Cooper has commuted your sentence.
Damn.
You'll be getting out in 14 days. Bro, I ain't cry. I ain't yell.
It's like a
I
dream.
ain't smile.
Yeah.
I just like, I knew it was coming.
Right. Damn.
So the surprise wasn't as big, but now it's like, damn, everything I went through for this phone call right here.
Right.
So now I go back, I get on the phone, I call my mom, call auntie on the phone. That's my aunt Tim. That's my second mother. Shout out to Aunt Tim. That's my second mom. So I say, get moms ain't on the technology, so I'm on the house phone. I say, get your cell phone and call Aunt Tim. So she get both phones. So I say, look, they just called me out there. They just let me know I'm coming home. Roy Cooper commuted my sentence. They get the hollering and hallelujah and praising God.
No, that's right.
So now it's like, I want to celebrate.
Give my boy, y'all give my boy a round of applause, man.
Yeah.
25 years, man.
Damn.
God.
Beautiful, man.
It's like I want to celebrate. I want to be happy, but I'm still in the belly.
Right.
So now, and the case manager told me when they knew what was going on, they said, look, Terence, you've been in here a long time. Everybody know you. A lot of guys respect you. You stay out the way. You don't bother nobody. They're like, yo, don't let nobody know you going home.
Right.
Because
that's
what
I
don't
prison.
What you don't do, they ain't not happy for you.
Ain't no love in prison. That's just being real, man. Ain't no love in prison. Prison just like the streets. It ain't a lot of love out here. So, because dudes know your situation, your story, they'll literally come at you negative or hate to try to get you off, not even get you jammed up, because they couldn't stop that once that would happen. But they would literally try to take you off your pedestal and make you be angry or upset about something. So I told my mom, my aunt, listen, don't let nobody know. I was going to surprise my cousin and everything, because I knew my release date was 14 days. That coincided with being the day before Thanksgiving. Damn. So I knew I'd get out Wednesday. Thursday, everybody going to be together. Right. So like I said, I had already wrote in my book, I'm going out that gate in all white, because I know God the one taking me out. Right. So I'm going out this gate heavenly. You know what I mean?
Was you losing sleep in 14 days? You didn't even sleep.
I didn't sleep, man.
I didn't sleep,
man. Right. In 14 days, I literally made it slept 10 hours in total.
Right.
Now, was that the longest 14 days of your life?
Longest ever, man.
I'm telling you. You know your date right here.
Like, you can't eat. You can't use the bathroom. You don't want to drink nothing.
Right.
Like, you can't write. You can't work out. Stuff I had been doing every day for 24 years, 9 months, in 2 days. Stuff that I was doing every day, I couldn't even do no more.
But did you have like an OG, an old school partner that you was like, look, bro?
Yeah,
feel me?
I had like 2 dudes on the camp where I let them know, listen.
Yeah, right.
Just because you got to tell somebody.
Right. That's why I asked.
Like, yo, bro, don't say nothing. But yo, I'm out of here.
Damn.
And little by little, like in prison, dudes always asking for something, man. Yeah. So I was type, I had to look out, but I ain't gonna let you be no fool. So little by little, I might just walk past somebody in conversation. I need some notepads, or I gotta order a cosmetic item. So I might come back through 15, 20 minutes later, bro? Yeah. What I owe you? You don't owe me nothing. You good, bro. Right. Just make sure you use it the right way. Don't go buy no dope with it. Right. So I'm literally just giving off stuff. And then I was thinking that it wasn't going to hit. But then it started hitting the newspapers. Then it was on, my name was on the news. So now, like, after 2 days, now I got to backtrack, tell Mom, look, Mom, let Kenya know I'm getting out. I need such and such to put on. This what I want. I need this for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? So now my family know. Then I got an aunt, God bless her. My aunt care for her mother-in-law, which is 99 years old. She still read the newspaper every day, front to back, 99 years old. And she seen it in the article, and she told my aunt. And my aunt called my mom. My mom wasn't home, so she called her other sister, my second mom, my aunt, and say, y'all know Terence getting out? So now everybody knows. Yeah. So now I tell my mom, like, yo, just let everybody know. But I didn't. I wanted to surprise everybody that's been there for me. And at the same time, wasn't nobody looking for me when I went in prison. Burton was there. My uncle was there. My mom was there when I caught that time.
And you know your friends ain't gonna be.
So
Listen,
in that sense,
friends ain't gonna be there when you get locked up.
in that sense, I wanted that small circle
Right.
to be able to celebrate with when I came out. So I didn't want no fanfare. And like the first day I got out, when they called me, before I was released, they called me to the case manager's office and she gave me a paper from a journalist from the Winston Journal and said he got an email from him. He wants you to call and interview him. I mean, he said you can be part of an interview if you want to talk to him. But I knew then, like, nah, y'all ain't for me because every time something happened to that dude that was in my case, y'all bring me up in the negative light.
Right.
The news stations the same way. They wanted to reach out, but y'all brought me up in the negative light. Y'all want to tell the story from y'all narrative.
Right.
Y'all ain't telling the story from its truth.
Right.
So that's why I let Real Recognize Real 336 be the first ones I sit down and say the things that everybody been wondering or everybody been gossiping about or everybody had an opinion about that was saying, oh Terence, Bird did this and he did that. People speaking on what they don't know.
Right.
So me going to the media per se wasn't going to allow me to speak on the facts and the truth of what really happened. Whereas this podcast gave me the open space and the dialogue to be able to expound on Real Recognize Real of what really happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I say, everything that I say on this show, my case an open book. Go pull it up. Because a lot of people out here are talk negative about a situation or have an opinion about something that they totally know nothing about. Because wasn't nobody in that trial. So nobody know what happened. So this is my first time speaking on it for a reason, but I didn't want that fanfare. I didn't want the love nor the hate at that time. But I wanted to be around the ones that believed in me, that had faith in me, that never gave up, the ones that kept me strong, the ones that came to see me, the ones that sent them mail orders, the ones that kept money on that phone. I wanted to celebrate with them and be around them.
They deserve it.
And no disrespect to nobody. Like, it's a lot of people rooting for me now. Ever since it was posted that I was going to be on the podcast, people been finding my numbers that I ain't talked to in 30, 35 years that's really rooting for me, that really got love for me. So for them, that's why I'm here on this show.
We definitely advocate for you, bro. When you come out with your book, we're going to bring you right back on, man. Definitely. Like I said, mentorship, man. Anything, definitely give a shout out to your cousin because them families turn on you, man.
Hold on, I want to say this too. Y'all hear what that man just said? When he got locked up, his family were there. His mama. All that gang shit, they not gonna be there for your ass. They gonna leave your ass and have you begging from your mama, nigga.
Get your mom to sell your car to him.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, they gonna mess with your girl. They gonna do all of that. Yeah. You feel me?
Like, one more shout out, man. Anybody in the 336 that's done time or anybody in the Greensboro area. Larry Allred, man. They call him Crow, man. That's my brother, man. He dark skinned with a bald head and I'm red with a bald head. Crow.
Shout out to Crow. He from the Grove.
Yeah, he from the Grove.
Shout out to Crow from the Grove.
For Crow, I wouldn't be here. Crow had 60 years, man, and done 28 years. And from the time I met him, we always had the same mentality. We were so much alike and so into ourselves and so withdrawn that we ain't like each other when we first met. That's just being honest, because we were so much alike. But from the time we started kicking it, our mentalities, our mind frames, everything that we wanted to do to get out of prison, we did it together from day one. And we made it, bro. Like both of us out. He out here. He had 60
all
years.
All my Greensboro folks, man. Let's get in touch with Crow, man, and let them know we give them a shout out, man.
I already plugged him to the show.
Okay.
I was gonna try to give you the 2 for 1, but he loved me like a little brother. He said, bro, you go up there and shine and kick the door down.
Already.
And I'm coming next. So like I say, I ain't the only injustice in Winston-Salem.
Right,
I ain't the only injustice in North Carolina or the United States. It's injustice in them courtrooms every day. But if we that live through the injustice don't get out here and speak, a lot of dudes get out of prison and forget about the yard.
Yeah.
Like everybody I deal with, if I'm on the phone with whoever, when that prison number pop up, I'm answering it.
Right.
Because I can't forget about them, because this dude's in there, the name need to be spoken out here and cases need to be seen that the people need to jump on and advocate for. And Larry did that for me. He did that for me from the time he got out here. From the time I got in contact with him, he did that for me. And in that same token, I got to do that for the others that's still in there.
That's real. That's
and
real.
When do you think your book coming out?
Man, I'm trying to have it. My intent was to have it I'm a spoiler for my mom, but my intent was to have it done by my mom's birthday, February the 2nd. But like I said, I've been out like 30, 35 days now. And with so much going on and so much happening so fast, I gotta push the date back. But I'm gonna have it to y'all by late spring, early summer.
Yeah, we
I'm
definitely gonna be
definitely
looking out
have
for
it by
that.
then
Yeah.
because it's already about written, but now just the whole thinking process is totally different from when you in there. The writing, your words, the passion is different. Whereas now, I came out here and everything happened so fast, and I'm stumbling over my steps sometimes because everything happening so fast. But I want to just get in the groove of getting back in society, driving,
Right.
working.
Yeah.
But that book coming, man, because that book is a hell of a story to tell, and it's gonna help people more than anything, and it's gonna help people see a lot of myths and a lot of misconceptions about prison or guys being in prison, and it's a lot of prejudgment that's not just out here behind dudes that's done time. But prison don't just make everybody bad. Prison make a whole lot of people better out here. And I'm one of them dudes that made it through the fire and persevered. And you gonna see that through that reading and through that book. And like I said, I got a gift and a talent in writing.
Right.
Dudes in prison, it's more talent in prison than it is on these
I just
streets.
told these boys
OG
that
say that all the
yesterday.
time.
I
Yeah.
just
It's
told
more
them that.
talent in
Yeah.
prison than it is on
OG
these
say
streets.
that all the time.
These podcast concepts from writers, from artists, from dudes that can do taxes, dudes that can do legal work. Like it's a whole lot of positive stuff in prison, but because of these prison themed shows, it fought the reality of what prison really is. Man.
Right.
Like yeah, it's violence, it's gangs, it's drugs, but at the same time, it's a lot of positive in prison that don't get no light out here.
The same thing that's in prison is is out here. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like it's how you indulge. You feel me? If you able to tune all of that out and like you said, read books sometimes. Like I told people, this is my word. Like I went to prison early. I went when I was like 16. So me, I couldn't read or write like that. You feel me? Like prison really helped me out to read and write. You know what I mean? Like so you can either learn from it or you don't learn nothing.
Learn. No, you can learn, but you're gonna learn positive or negativity.
Yeah.
Like it's dudes, man. Like I don't down the game because everybody got a different path. When I was growing up, you represent the neighborhood you stayed in. That wasn't no different in the game. You just ain't wear a color.
Right.
But dudes in gangs spend so much energy and got so much knowledge of learning, whether it be code, whether it be whatever. So if you can learn all that gang stuff, guess what? You can go to them schools and get you a degree and learn that and regurgitate that college degree the same way you can them codes, or whether you stacking, whether you spelling with your fingers, it's the same thing as learning. You just got to focus and learn on what's gonna better you and make you and your community better and your family proud of you. So it's just what prison gonna teach you. It's just what you gonna learn from prison. Whether it's gonna be this bullshit or whether it's gonna be something that's legit.
Let me ask you a question. Did your brother case ever get figured out?
Well, from what I was told, like I say, my mom kind of at peace with it, and her main thing was they told her wasn't no foul play.
Okay.
So we thinking that the guardrail wasn't right there at the lake. So the police told her, and it's a documentary on my brother, D. Smith. Y'all can look up the documentary, but it's a shot where he literally standing right in front of the road, and it's a straight shot from the road right into the lake. And they believe that that's what happened. That he drove straight in, probably speed, and it was at night, it was dark, and not realizing that curve was right there, and they thinking that he just ran off into the lake right there.
That's before they put the fences up and
before
everything.
before they put that, it's a barrier there now. Yeah, that barrier wasn't there. So they, like I said in the documentary, you can see from the road to where the car was found, it's a straight path. So the police department did tell her it was no foul play, but I just feel like they was quick to make judgment in my case. But on another note, when black people go missing, the same urgency is not poured into
right.
the black community having a missing person. Whereas in the Caucasian community,
Right.
when someone
They
comes
own
up
it.
missing,
Right. Right.
you got all type of search and walk. Whereas in my case, what happened was my family pushing. Like far as the police department or investigators, they wasn't on top of it like that. And I feel like if they would have been on top of that a little more, we wouldn't have had to wait 16 years to find out what truly happened. But
That's a long
yeah,
time.
nevertheless,
not
though,
know where your baby
Right.
at.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, my mom had a lot of sleepless nights for not just 16 years with my brother, but 24 years with me. But thank God, though, she can rest good now.
Strong woman, man.
Yeah, she can rest
Strong
good.
woman.
Yeah, she can rest good now.
She had a lot of sleepless nights,
Yeah.
man. Definitely shout outs to your mom. How, do you talk to your Cody or how's he?
I had the way the court did it when it came into play when we went to trial without taking pleas. It's another tactic that the court system used. They separated us. We was on the same floor. We was never in the same dorm, but we was in the same floor in the Forsyth County Jail. When we went to trial after the second or third day, when the lawyers started trying to talk about getting on the stand, I didn't get on the stand. My Cody didn't get on the stand. So when that happened, they separated us. So when we went to prison, we was never allowed to be housed on the same camp.
Right.
But luckily, after the petition, another way God working. Like I could have had anger towards him or whatever it may be, but somehow they put us on the same camp. And I did get to speak to him. I let him know what was going on with me and what I had done through the years as far as fighting the case. And he was under the impression if they do something for me, that they'll do something to him. Now, in that sense, like I say, no man deserves 51 to 66 years for a non-homicidal crime.
None.
No matter how you look at it. Like people got hurt. People got hurt. I know that. And that's something that I'm always have to live with, knowing that I was a part of, and I'm always remain remorseful for that. Remorseful for that. And I'm always seek forgiveness for them victims. But part of my seeking forgiveness for them is out here doing the right things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And kind of not just paying my debt back to society because I'm out of prison now, but I got to pay my debt back to the community.
Right.
Like that was a wrong in my life that I'm always fight to. I can't make it right, but I can always fight to make where I'm at better.
Right.
So where I can try to intervene and keep that from happening to somebody else's child or happening to somebody else for their life to have to take a turn like mine.
You know, I'm gonna take it a step farther, man. You know, when me and OG have our tour drives, man, and you know, we giving away shit. I want you to be involved.
I'm there. Like that's what this about. Like that's why I say that's why I gave y'all this first interview, because y'all for the community, not just for the community, but y'all for our people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that mean a lot to me. And like I say, I never went through prison on my own. Yeah, I had family, but God never left me.
Right.
Like God gave me this story to regurgitate and get to the people and use it for his good. And that's what I'm out here doing, man.
Hey, somebody tag Papa, man. My boy need a job, man. Fucking messing with the kids, man. You know what I mean? Like, give my boy a job. Somebody tag Papa.
Yeah.
Or somebody that's messing with the little kids out here. Y'all tag him. My boy need a job, and he's very sincere.
Yeah.
And anybody trying to reach me, man, I ain't on the technology or the apps and all that, but I do got a email account. It's Terence with one R, TERENCED Smith 19 at gmail.com. Terence D Smith 19 at gmail.com. So man, anybody reach out to me. If you know, man, you ain't heard from me and you out here rooting for me, hit me, man.
And if anybody looking for him, inbox me or OG. Y'all had a Real Recognize Real page. Y'all got a lot of opportunities to hit us up, and we'll definitely get in contact with Terence and make sure, you know what I'm saying, the ball gets passed, man, because we're going to make sure this brother stay out here with us. We're going to make sure he advocate for the city and everything else, man.
Yeah. And like, everybody knows somebody locked up, man. And there's a lot of stories that don't get an opportunity to get told.
Right.
A lot of dudes go in there young and never make it out, and family forget about them. So if you got somebody that's locked up, man, you can't even send stamps no more. But find that app, find where they at, man. Send them a text message, man. It don't take nothing. It's 25 cents to send a text message. Text somebody on the yard, man. Let them know you love them. You ain't forgot about them like that. That give people faith. That give people fight. And that'll change a person's day. Like out here in these streets, you take the smallest things for granted. Whereas in there, the smallest things mean everything to somebody.
Right.
So
That's
take
real.
that time to reach out to them.
That's real.
And also, man, like, yo, if you know somebody, whether they did the crime or they didn't do the crime, if they got an excess amount of time, you know that, start up a chat on it. Everybody else out here on Facebook and everything out with all this negative stuff. But start something up out here worth talking about on social media. Help guys get their case out there and their situations out there. Because if not, if everybody remain quiet and we ain't talking about it, guess what? Them people in charge that's changing these laws out here, they ain't got no reason to change them. But when we start having the uproar, when we start having our own George Floyd moments down here in Winston-Salem and start talking about these district attorneys in this court system, a higher sentencing our black youths out here, then that's when change gonna come about. But if everybody's sitting out here like, oh, that's his dumb ass, he did that, now he in prison, ain't nothing gonna never change. But then when it happened to your own, now you want to be in the uproar. Be in the uproar because it happened to anybody and it wasn't right.
Another thing too that I want to say, man, we need, as black people, man, we need to stop depending on other people to do what we supposed to do for ourselves.
Right.
You feel me? We have to make a way for. I mean, like I said, if we get together in fellowship, you feel me? Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things that black men deal with in society. Like, look at women. They have women group meetings and stuff like
Empowerment,
that. Empowerment. What do we do as black people? I mean, I'm talking about as black men. We don't do that.
Right.
You feel me? Like, you can be having a lot of things on your chest that you feel like you can't talk to nobody. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what black men go through in this society, and we gonna change the narrative on that.
That's what lead to the effects of mental health. Like sometimes, like, man, one thing about Burton, man, Burton probably the first person that wet my family as a male that used to always tell me, I love you.
Right.
Like, tell your brother you love him. All that, man, all that macho shit, that shit ain't about nothing.
Right. I actually flew to Minnesota, man, and because I wanted to see where George Floyd got killed at in front of Cut Foods, man. So my daughter wanted to go to Minnesota to the Mall of America for her 15th birthday shopping spree. I was like, I take you there, but we got to go here too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some education in this.
Yeah.
So we went to the George Floyd where he got killed at, man, and it really touched me, man, to actually see where this man took his last breath at. They actually spray painted an angel where he laying at, man. If when you get our papers, man, you want to fly, we can definitely go up there and fly and check it out, man.
I can go now. All I gotta do is make a call and say, yo, I'm doing this for such.
Are you
like,
on papers?
Nah, I ain't on paper.
Oh.
Like, I got 8 rules I got to abide by, but Roy Cooper let me out. The highest governing official in the state let me out. And he didn't let me out because, like I say, I wasn't in prison, attending Bible study, baking chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
But he let me out because he knew it was for 2 reasons. For one, he knew it was injustice in my case to be sentenced like that as a teenager, as a juvenile. And for 2, he believed in me.
Right.
Like when he seen that petition, he seen them support letters. He seen Pastor First Walltown, Pastor Bishop. He seen Tony
Shout
Burton.
out to Dennis Bishop, man. Another real one.
He seen Tony Burton. He seen Vanita Austin is working in Durham on city council. When he seen all these people that back for me, and forgive me if I forgot a few, but it was a lot of people that had seen me grow up in the church. My cousins, Kenya, Monica, my mother, my aunts, my uncles. Like these people came together and vouched for me. Not only that I was a good person, a good candidate for this, but just knowing that if he give me that opportunity, I'm going to use it for what this Executive Order 208 was designed for.
Right.
Like, he know I'm out here to do the right thing, and he know I'm out here to win, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make everybody proud that played a part in letting me be able to be here, let me be able to tell my story and be out of prison.
Shout out to Roy Cooper, man. Definitely shout out to Roy Cooper. Shout out to Kenya. She always been a real one since Carver days, man. Always been a real one. Let's get some shout outs, man. Who you give me some shout outs?
Man, everybody on lock, man. Larry Allred, Dwayne Harvin, Kevin Jones, man. All these guys I'm naming done over 20 plus years in prison, man. Y'all Google their name. Y'all always Googling something that don't matter. Google something that matter for a change, man. Kevin Jones, Dwayne Harvin, Eric Cornegay. Man, Google these guys and look at these cases, man. These guys got life sentences done over 20 plus years, man. And like I say, It ain't about if you guilty or not. It's about punishment, and prison's supposed to reform. You can't reform a person when you gave him a life sentence for a crime that you could have gave 10 to 15 years from, and give a person an opportunity to redeem themselves and show themselves where they're getting that second opportunity. So the same way I got that second opportunity, man, it's 40,000 people locked up in the state of North Carolina. Anybody want to sit here and argue and tell me a couple of hundred of them don't deserve a second chance? I'm here to argue with you any day of the week.
Oh,
So
really?
a lot of these guys deserve second chances, man. And at the end of the day, don't be so judgmental, because it might be you getting judged against, or it might be one of your loved ones getting judged against, man. And just be alert and know what's going on, man. Fight and advocate for what matters, man. Don't fight and beef out here on the streets for what don't matter, man. It's a lot more serious issues at bay, from criminal justice system, from the mental health standpoint. Like, it's a lot of stuff out here that guys need fighting for, that can't fight for themselves. When
Oh,
you in
really?
that prison, man, your voice ain't but so loud. So if you ain't got somebody out here in these streets fighting for you, your name will never get heard. So tune in, man, and fight for the people that need you out here fighting for them, man.
My boy say fight for something that matters. See, black people, we
And,
fighting.
one more.
We
And Kevin Anderson, man, that's my co-D. Like, he got 51 to 66 years.
Dang.
Like I say, I never justify the crime because it was wrong. People got shot, people got robbed, people got hurt, people was affected. Back then, it's still affected now. But if the victims of the crime themselves are willing to forgive and willing to say that that was too much time, then there's no way that the court system shouldn't see just to let that man out of prison. He
Already.
done 25 years too, and got another 25 years, Lord willing. So he deserved that opportunity out here too, man.
Shout out to Kevin, man. Plus, shout out to his cousin Twan Anderson that reached out to me, man. Shout out to him. OG.
Hey, bro, I like when you said that we fight for stuff that don't matter. Like, we be over here fighting for a neighborhood that don't nobody own the house on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so
You rent.
I respect that
stay
when you
over
said
there.
that.
Right.
But me, I want to give a shout out to Big God, man, for waking me up this morning, for giving me the
No
strength
doubt,
to come on this podcast. I want to thank God for my healthy kids, for my well-being, my wife. You know, I just want to thank God for everything, from the Cannon Boys, for my co-hosts. Like I said, thank you for everybody that watch us and support us, man. We love y'all, and you know, we just want everybody to win.
Yo, man, shout out to my child, first and foremost. Shout out to God. Let me give a shout out to B Mac. You know, when we talk about, the homies in prison, man, I always think of B Mac, man, because he's a real one. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for my boy to come home. You know, he ain't as bad as everybody think. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that know Mac will give you the shirt off his back, man, because he got 3 more in the closet. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to my boy. He'll be home real soon. Shout out to my co-host, OG Squeeze, my dog. Shout out to them, the Cannon Boys. Shout out to my nephews, man. Shout out to my niece. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to everybody that's supporting Real Recognized Real Podcast. Y'all see it. Like, we don't even got to do all this talking, man. Y'all see it, man. We the realest shit popping right now. You know what I'm saying? And we going to bring the realest ones on. We don't do this shit just for show.
Well, pop that shit then, Hootie.
Yeah, you already know
Pop
how I
that
talk.
shit.
We don't do it for show, man. When we going to say we going to do it, we going to do it. And we bringing the realness on, man. Like, this one of the realest interviews we done had thus far. And we done had a couple of them. But this right here really showed us that we need to be here for our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need us as much as we need them. Like, this our shit. Don't nobody tell us nothing. Don't nobody tell us what to do. Don't nobody tell us what to have on. Don't nobody tell us when to come on. We make the final decisions, and that's what we do as black men right here, because we got our own brand. So anybody that want to come on and advocate for anybody that's trying to get out, trying to get released, man, reach out to us, man. We definitely going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate you coming on, brother. Anything that you need from us, you already know. You ain't even got to ask twice.
I'm going to ask you one favor right now.
What you need?
Let this be part 1, man. I'm trying to come back in a
Yeah,
couple of
for
months
sure.
and give them an update, man.
For
Let them know
sure.
what I'm doing out here.
Yeah, we definitely need an update to see, where you at in a couple of months. You
And
feel
I
me?
know
Like,
my steps are already ordained by God.
Whew.
But my steps gonna lead the path
Brother
for others
real.
to come behind me, man.
Right.
So as long as I'm out here winning, it's gonna continue to kick down doors and open for others. And that's when I'm out here. That's the purpose that I'm serving out here. It ain't about me no more. It's about leading that path and showing like, yo, we gave this man over here a second chance. And look what he doing.
Right.
Let's go get some of these other brothers and
Right.
get them a second chance and get them a team out there and see what they can do then.
So we definitely telling you when we drop this segment, it's part 1.
No doubt.
Part 2, my boy gonna have that book ready. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see where he at in life then, and we gonna do whatever we can to get him going in life for the part 3. So
No
let's definitely keep it going. I definitely thank everybody for tuning in. Cause we wasn't even supposed to go live, but the story's so big, man, that we couldn't.
You gotta get the people what
Right.
they want.
Gotta
Hootie.
get
You
all-
gotta get what they
Right.
want.
All I ask is when we come out with the the whole segment on YouTube, y'all share it, y'all subscribe, y'all
Yeah,
tell
y'all share
everybody.
this.
Tell a friend,
Yeah.
tell a friend.
Tell a friend, and definitely tell a friend, because we kept our end going live. We need y'all to keep y'all in to sharing this segment when it come out on YouTube, man. Let's keep it real. Real Recognized Real podcast.
Throw us some hearts and some stars or something. My shit dry. Who got stars over there? Boy?
Oh, you know, my shit is
My
off.
shit dry over here. Boy, y'all some dry ass
Yeah.
people.
You got-
Nah, I'm messing with y'all.
We got that
I love y'all though.
We got
That's
that
my
mid
word.
over there. We got that Zal over here. I
Nah,
tell
my
you.
people good. They don't get paid the Friday, next Friday. They get paid by week.
Right, listen, bro.
Nah,
I appreciate y'all, bro. I love you, brother.
Yeah,
All
for sure,
love,
man.
all love.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
man, look, this. Hey, I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Keep striving and
Ain't no
don't let
stopping,
nothing
man. What the
discourage
song
you.
say? Ain't no stopping us now.
Can't nothing discourage a man that's done 25 years.
Nah.
You
Right.
feel me? Because you was at the
Easy out
bottom.
here.
You was at the
Right.
bottom.
Right.
It's easy.
It's the
Yeah,
easy
you know what
part.
I mean? For
All
real.
it takes is a little hard work and dedication out here.
Y'all, we out, man. I love y'all, man.
We love y'all. Real Recognized Real, man.
Peace.
Till next time, we love y'all. Stay tuned, stay true, stay real. You know what it is. Cheer.